So I started buying, my first property ever was I bought in 2019, guys. And since 2019, I've bought and sold over 75 properties. Well, let's just dive right in. Introduction. Yeah. So one of the top real estate brokers in Tennessee. We're number one EXP team 2020, 21, 22, over 1,400 families served $500 million in closed sales, purchased over 50. It's actually 75 properties since 2019, just closed on another one yesterday. I own 14 active short-term rentals right now. I'm building 4 more at this moment for myself. I'm building 7 total right now. Investor, developer, builder, broker. Oh, and I like to fly planes. That's my plane in the background. And guys, the really cool thing is I'm a big believer, and I'm gonna talk to you guys about how to spend your money wisely. Let me just keep going through here. I'm gonna talk about spending your money wisely. But one of the things you guys will start seeing me talk about is why the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. I'm doing a series on Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad Poor Dad, and a lot of that goes to buying assets first. And so I've spent literally millions of dollars on these properties, but I bought my first property for $33,000. My second property, I only had 12 grand in the deal. And I'm gonna show you guys how you guys can do that too. A little bit about us. Builder, investor, developer. I'm active in the market. Vicky's on this call. She just closed a deal with me 2 days ago. One of the things that she told me that was really important with working with us is she wanted somebody who's actively buying and investing in the market. Full service real estate company specialized in helping investors in short-term markets. We help our clients find good cash flowing properties, especially new construction. That's what I'm really known for. Some of the reasons, some things about our market, our construction's unique mountain modern design. So you can go to mountainviewcabinbuilders.com and just Google it. We're in one of the best marketplaces, guys. Sevier County gets over 14 million visitors a year. We get more visitors than Yosemite National Park, Yellowstone National Park, and the Grand Canyon combined. Okay. So a lot of people that are visiting here every single year. So great service. You're a growing company, and we have management services in-house. I've already introduced you guys to Vernon's property manager. It's awesome. He's studying this business. So little message from me. I would never put anyone in any position that I haven't or wouldn't put myself in. Meaning I look at every single deal, especially with my clients. I look at that deal as if I were investing in the deal. In fact, Vicky, if you can hop in the chat box below, just for people, you can kind of share your experience. I told them exactly what I would do. Now I told them specifically, hey, it's your money, you spend it how you want it. But I did give my 2 cents because I am in the market, and I've worked with a lot of rentals. I own a lot of rentals, and I know what's going to cash flow, what's not going to cash flow. So I started Our Home Real Estate, which is now Our Home of EXP Realty, Next Gen Properties. That's my company that I own the vast majority of my real estate in. It's kind of my umbrella company, and Mountain View Cabin Builders and passive real estate investor that has built a 7-figure portfolio from the short-term rentals. Yeah. So said Jay gives a ton of ideas in building cabin and barn into an open air entertainment space. All right, let's carry this through. So let's talk about some principles, guys. So the biggest thing and this is where I want your all's interaction in the chat box, and then I'll check it periodically, like maybe once I hit to a next milestone. Some investing principles and principles that have actually changed my life forever. Real quick before, if you guys, and y'all can, I'm going to just roll through this. Would you guys choose $1 million cash or a penny doubled every day for 30 days? Put it in the chat box. You want $1 million. And if you already know what this is, or you've already heard the story, the penny, right? So the story goes is, okay, everybody's already, they done read this thing, which is good, guys. So what this talks about is compounding interest. So a guy goes up to somebody, hey man, would you rather $1 million or a penny doubled every single day? And of course, the logical person, and especially someone that's not educated themselves, says, I want the freaking $1 million, right? And so what they don't understand is the compounding effect of the penny doubling every day for 30 days. And so if you guys can see, a penny doubles 2 cents, then it goes to 4 cents, 8 cents, 12 cents, right? So 10 days in, that penny double is only worth $5, right? Day 15, that penny doubled every single day. That's halfway through the month, is only worth $163. Now, on day 18, you start to see that start churning a little bit, starting to get bigger numbers, but still not anywhere close to the $1 million. Day 24, you're finally starting to see some real cash. Day 27, now you're already over $500,000. Day 28, you're already past $1 million. Oh, Day 30, you've accumulated that one penny has compounded to over $5 million. Oh, and if you were to go one more day to go to day 31, it'd be worth $10,737,000. And the reason I talk about that, guys, is we are so emotionally attached to cash. We get so emotionally attached to the money that we have in the bank, and we never let it go. I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys right now, if you guys had 100 grand in the bank and you left it in the bank from 2021 to 2022 or 2022 to 2023, that 100 grand is now probably realistically worth 93,000. So you're losing money every single year. You talk about some of the smartest minds in the world. They talk about this. Grant Cardone just posted the other day. He said, don't trust your cash sitting in the bank, even if it's FDIC insured. We just saw a big bank, 40 years in the making, bank collapsed in Silicon Valley, right? Put your money in an asset that's going to compound. I want to talk about the compounding effect of time. So you can't expect giant returns overnight, right? We get really emotionally attached to that cash. We worked hard for it. And so I'm going to teach you guys how to go out and double that money as fast as possible. The rich know that their money is safer in an investment than in a bank account. So I don't know if you guys know this, but this little guy right here, his name's Warren Buffett. When Warren Buffett was 26 years old, he had $26,000 of net worth. By the time he was 30, he was worth $1 million. Okay. 15 years later, my man's worth 34 million. So he's 340x his net worth. Okay. By the time he's 52, 12 years later, my man's worth 376 million. All right, guys. Everyone knows Warren Buffett to be one of the wealthiest people on the planet, up there with Jeff Bezos, Zuckerberg, all these big, Elon Musk, all these big hitters, right? My man was in his 50s. Yeah, $376 million. Don't get me wrong, guys. That's a lot of coin, but that is nothing in comparison from what the compounding effect. So these look really small because once it starts compounding, like on day 30 to 31, it went from 5 million to 10 million. What happens from 10 million to 20, 20 to 40, 40 to 80, 80 to 160, 160 million, right? And so you can see like from 56 to 53 to 56, it went from 620 to 1.4 billion. Okay. Now, I hope I'm the next billionaire, right? I hope that you guys are the next billionaire. But all I know is I know how to take 25, 50, 100 to 250 grand and make that $1 million. That's what I do know. That's what I've done. I've literally done that in the past few years. But guys, it took me 6 or 7 years to where I started getting the snowball effect. We're going to carry on. I'm currently reading this book now, but so 10 lessons from Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Learn to listen. Pay yourself first. That's a really big, important one. I just made a video about this. Too many of us, and I've got some of my team members on this. I want you guys to hear this. Too many of us will go out and live off 100 pennies of our dollar, right? And so if we make $4,000 in a month, we're spending all $4 grand. You have to stop doing that. And the biggest thing that you guys don't understand is you're paying the man before you're paying anyone else. You're paying Uncle Sam, the most irresponsible person on the planet, our tax, our government. You're giving them your money first. Wealthy people do not pay taxes. I sat down with a guy who's worth 8 figures, and he said, dude, I don't pay taxes. And I've paid taxes every year, guys, since I've been in business. But you know what? I'm not paying the taxes this year. So I learned. So we'll talk a little bit about that. Buy luxuries last, not first. Okay. So I've got a Range Rover. I got a big ass truck. I've got a tractor. I've got an airplane, right? All those things I bought within the last year and a half. Okay. I'd already built a multiple 6-figure business, right? In state revenue, right? And so I didn't start buying that stuff until I had enough cash flow coming in every month to where I could pay for this stupid shit. Right. And most of my stuff, I try to buy cash. Reduce expensive liabilities, aim for more valuable assets. Okay. Work to learn, don't work to earn. So in Rich Dad, Poor Dad, at, I think 8 years old, he makes the kids work for free. And it makes them come and work for free. And what it does is it makes them say, hey, I don't want to work for money. And so they start learning that at a young age. So you become what you study, read a lot. I've read 7 books already this year. Reinvest excess cash generated by assets. Surround yourself with people smarter than you. And yeah, so my whole philosophy, guys, is I don't even know what I make anymore, right? Because when I have a surplus of cash, I immediately put it into a bank account to where my clock is ticking. I try to buy real estate assets. Once I get cash, I'm trying to put it back out in the world. Now, granted, for many years, I lived well below my means. I lived in a $195,000 house for a long time. For the vast many years, my real estate journey, I was driving a paid for Kia Optima with 100,000 miles. Then I passed it down to the next generation, my girlfriend who became a wife, those different things. I saved and conserved all the cash possible. And so I'm going to encourage you guys to do that too. All right. So why short-term real estate, right? You can never work as hard as your money can work for you. Okay. So this is the home prices since the 90s. So you guys can see, even in this huge dip, this was the recession in 2008, the largest economic crash ever known to man since the Great Depression was in 2008. And you can see, guys, from 08 to about 12, right? So really 08 hit, that's the start of the decline, but 2009, 10, 11, 12. And then you started seeing, guys, by the time 2017, 2018, we are already back to the top of the market. So within less than 10 years, guys, that the value of that was already back up. And then we know what's happened the last 3 years. It's skyrocketed. Okay. So here's the top 5 things that I find most important when buying assets in real estate. Is the first one being cash flow. Okay. Cash flow refers to anything that's left over after paying all your expenses. All right. It's your operating cash. What I recommend, what I do is I don't take any of the profits from my cash flowing properties, right? I say I pay for my other stuff, but I put that stuff in the account. I just make sure I've got enough there to pay for anything, but I put that money in the account and I don't touch it. I spend it on if I need to pay bills, or I'll reinvest that. So right now I've got over 6 figures just sitting in that account. And so I'm like, okay, compound. Okay, let's take this 6 figures and put it back into somewhere else. So appreciation. So I'm going to talk about several deals that I have going right now that have massive appreciation. Okay. And I'm talking about, I've doubled my money in 6 months on some of these properties. I'm going to teach you guys how to double your money in less than 5 years, but there's ways to do it significantly faster. So principal pay down. So every single month, guys, and feel free, chat box. Someone asked, is short-term here to stay? Could you see a cultural or behavioral change? I'm going to address that later, but good question. Principal pay down. So every single month that you're paying that mortgage, does your principal balance go up or does it go down? Goes down, which means every single month what you owe on it's less. It's a tangible asset. Unlike stocks and bonds, real estate's real. You can touch it, you can feel it, you can sleep in it, right? You can go out and have a party in it. You can do all the different things. And you can have massive tax advantage, guys. Real quick disclaimer, didn't even start here. Disclaimer. Look, guys, I am here to help you. Consult with your CPA, consult with your person that's smarter than me, consult with a professional, do your due diligence. Okay. So anyways, let's carry on. So I want to talk about our market. We primarily operate out of Sevier County, Sevierville, Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg. And I think this will answer the last question in the chat box. So why our market? So it's one of the hottest markets in the United States. It's an easy drive to almost half the United States, right? And it's the home of Dolly Parton, which is pretty cool. So we're in the beautiful Appalachian mountain ranges, beautiful mountain views year round. In October, it is some of the most beautiful views you could ever see. I already told you we get more visitors in Yellowstone, Yosemite, and Grand Canyon combined. And what most people don't know is we get more visitors. So Disney World gets about 12 million visitors a year, and we get over 14 million visitors per year. Revenue from tourism in 2021 was $3.4 billion in revenue. Okay. Here's a track record of success. So our company's been trusted for 7 years. We actively buy and invest in the deals. So I want to show you guys a few of the deals that we have going right now, or some of the properties that we've bought and sold. Okay. This goes into the appreciation bucket. So this is a property. Actually, Vernon has this property listed now. This is a property that I acquired. The guy called, wanted to list it. He bought the property for $400,000 a couple years before I bought it, or I think in 2018. And he wanted to get like $750,000 out of it. And I was like, hey, dude, I'll just buy it. You don't even have to put it on the market. So had $168,000 of income in 2021. I bought it in August 2nd, 2021 for $741,000. Now I renovated it, I refurbished it, I added all that. It was red, so I redid the stain, I did new hog wire, renovated light fixtures, fans, stuff like that. I probably put 50, 60,000 in the deal. So let's call it, I got $800,000 in that deal. And I sold that literally 5 months later and sold that property for 1.325 million. Okay. So in 5 months, guys, I had over a $500,000 profit on the deal. And that's excluding rental income. I didn't have the rehab in there, but when you take 5-6 months of rental income or 4 or 5 months of rental income, we did pretty good on this one. Okay. These are the type of deals that I'm trying to get our clients in. And so back then you could get a second home loan. You could have bought that property for 70 grand in the deal. Right now you can get sellers pay closing costs. So you can do that. This is my second property I ever bought in the Smokies. It was a 1-bedroom. I had just bought 3 other cabins on the same street. It was 1,100 square feet. And guys, I was a big chicken, a freaking wuss. Like straight up, if you think you're scared, I was scared. On this deal, it was listed for 235,000, and I tried to get it for 200. And I was like, I'm out of the deal. I'm out of the deal. I almost killed the first deal that I bought too. And I'll show you that one here in a minute. But I was terrified because I just didn't know. Anyways, bought that property in 10/1/20 for 227,000. It's called, I put 30 grand in the deal. So I'm 260 in the deal. And I didn't buy it again in 2/22 of 22. I sold it in 2/22 of 22 for 500 grand. So on that deal, excluding rental income, guys, on just the appreciation, okay, just the appreciation, we made $242,000. Okay. This is another property. So I buy a little bit of real estate in Florida as well. This was actually my very first property. I bought this in 2019. Bought this property at 575,000, put like, I don't know, 5 grand worth of updates on it, did some updates on the outside, add some pavers, stuff like that. And it actually was not performing well. Me and my property manager took the property over, got the income over 6 figures. And I had 2 partners on that deal and it wasn't cash flowing. So we're all like, hey, let's cash this deal out, and ended up selling that property a few months later for 850 grand. So pretty good little profit there. But the crazy thing is, guys, so this is where it's like, the market's crazy. Like you may think that the market's at the peak right now, but that property I sold, and I thought I did pretty good on it, making 248,000. That property next door to it, this little guy, the one to the right, I'm pretty sure it sold for $1.25 million, guys, 6 weeks later, which means I left 400 grand on the table. I need you guys to see my face right now. Who in here would be fucking pissed if they left 400 grand on the table? Yeah, raise your hand, right? If somebody wouldn't be pissed at 400 grand, you got way too much damn money, right? Who's in my message? Yeah, me. Yeah, dude, I was mad, but I still made some bread on it and they did too. So it is what it is. So let me go back to my screen share here. So deal number 4, my wife just double-ended this deal like a couple of days ago. I was fielding way too many phone calls, couldn't get it closed. She took it over, sold in 6 days. So this property, so I bought this property in 4/10 of 19, and I bought this property with 33,000. Okay. 33,000 out of pocket. And because I bought it with partners. And so anyways, yeah, not a lot of cash out of pocket. Let me see here in the chat box. I'm mad for you, bro. Yes. Still salty. That happened over a year ago and I still talk about it all the time. So let me do this. So this little deal, right? So someone asked me like, who in the hell would short-term rent this? This just goes and shows you guys there's more deals out there to be found. I just showed you one in Florida. I just showed you, this is a little tiny podunk town outside of Knoxville. So bought this property in 5/6 of 19, 1 month after I bought that other property, put $12,000 worth of furniture in the deal. All right. I just closed on it. What's today? Today is the 15th. I closed on this deal yesterday. I closed on this deal. And every year I was making anywhere between $50,000, $60,000 a year. So for rental, with the rental income plus what the appreciation on this, we made $290,000. Oh, and by the way, when I closed on this, I bought it for a 130. I think I bumped up and asked for some closing costs, and maybe I financed. I don't know. I brought very little into that deal, but anyways, less than 20 grand I got in this deal, and I only owed 100 grand on the deal. I had a pretty sizable check at closing the other day. Which what I'm going to do is I'm going to reinvest that into other real estate. So here's some of our current stuff, guys, that we have going on. So these are current properties that we own. So this was my first deal I bought in the Smoky Mountains, guys. And I'm going to show you guys some properties I've bought. You are saying, oh man, that was 19. This is 20, 21. I'm going to show you guys some properties I bought here recently too. So This property was 3 one-bedroom cabins. I did a full exterior renovation, stained it, did hog wire, all the good stuff. Bought this in 2020 for 605 grand. And guys, I almost killed this deal at least 50 times. Okay. Literally, I was the client from hell on this property. And, but anyways, it was doing 90 grand a year. And anyways, I did the renovations, probably spent 100 grand. So I'm in the deal 700 grand. And now it does about $160,000 a year, based on what I looked at my numbers a couple of days ago. I did refresh, did appliances. I'm probably actually going to renovate this one again. I want to do black with that. So I want to go all black. So really modern interior on that. Yeah. So this is a really cool property, and I use it. I leverage this property all the time. When banks want to see cash flows, I'm like, check this property out. This is a property I bought last year. Okay. This just goes, people are asking, are there deals to be found? Is now the time to buy? So this property I bought a few months ago. They wanted to list it at 420 grand, and I offered them 350. Okay. And they said no to that. They told me to pretty much pound sand. Does everybody know what pound sands means? It means fuck off. That bad looks familiar. Maybe you stayed there. But anyways, it's only a 600 square foot property, guys. And so at the time, that was like pretty high price for a little one bedroom, 600. And I totally renovated it. So I stained all this. I stained the front. It had this little weird vine looking stuff on it, cleaned it up, new flooring, painted the cabinets, new appliances, new hot tub. So I probably spent, I think 20 grand on this deal, maybe 25,000. So I'm in at 400. It appraised for 445,000. So I'm in at 400, but I only I bought it cash. Then around did a cash out refi, took 280 grand out of the deal. So I own 280. So my debt on it's next to nothing, makes 60 grand a year, right? This deal right here, guys, somebody could buy this 20% down and be in a deal for less than 80 grand. If you don't have 80 grand, maybe you and a buddy go in and go halvesies on it, or I'll show you some other ways to invest in some deals. This property I bought just a few months ago. So this property sat on the market. It was advertised as a 3-bedroom. It's a 5-bedroom. Septic would only permit for a 3. We're working on bumping that up to a 5. Just got my dock permit last week. Did a monster renovation, painted the entire thing. I added all new furniture, every bit of furniture. I probably put 150 to 180 grand in this deal. So I got a $50,000 credit though. So I bought it. It was listed at 1.8. I bought it at 1.45 million. I got a $50,000 seller concession. So really I bought it for 1.4 million. And we did a BPO on it, broker price opinion on it. And I think it's conservative, worth 1.75 million. And that deal I've got, like I said, I got 100 to 150 grand in that deal. So I'm in it probably 155, but still in this market, guys, I bought this just literally a couple months ago, and I've got a couple $100,000 worth of equity in this deal. Okay. And this is a deal I'll never sell. Like, this is my second home. This is where me and my family are going to go on the weekends because it's right on the lake. Projected revenue, 205,000. I'm booking it for something like $13,000, $14,000 per week in the summertime. Okay. And so I'll use it 2 or 3 times. This is another property. I built this cabin. If you guys like the construction on this, leave me a thumbs up on that. So really cool, modern style, a bunch of glass, high-end finishes. I'll tell you what's moving right now, guys. It's got to be nice luxury, or it's got to be a 2-bedroom that's nice. Fire pits definitely help out. Hot tubs, pool tables definitely help out. So this one's 20 minutes from Pigeon Forge. It's a 2-bedroom, 1,448 square feet, 2.5 bath. I didn't do an interior refresh. I just copied and pasted that. But I bought that a few months ago, 685,000. It appraised already for 745,000. My projected revenue is 85 grand. I think the lowest revenue projection on it was about 75,000, which wouldn't create a huge cash on cash return, guys. Okay. There's some strategy on this deal that I know this fucking bitch will cash flow month over month. It will have a high occupancy. It's 90+% occupancy. And so for me, I just know that sucker's cash flowing. Right. It's going to print money year round. And the more I do to it, like the better I get at getting people in, raising price, I think there's even going to be more opportunity there. Yeah. Let's keep it rolling. Here's some of the deals that we have in our pipeline. Okay. These are deals that I'm allowing people to look at with me. You could go out and I'll show you one I would sell potentially outright, but for people that are wanting to acquire deals, I'll talk about, I'm not going to go too deep. If you want to chat about stuff like this, you can always reach out to me after the fact. I'll walk through some deals that are still out there. Okay. So this property is in Wallen. It's in Homestead. Right behind this property, guys, is Blackberry Mountain. Okay. Average price point, I think, in Blackberry Mountain, somewhere around the 5 to 7 million range is where all the celebrities goes. Major League Baseball players. Taylor Swift was there not too long ago. But anyways, this property is 3,600 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 5.5 bath, game room, theater room, and an indoor pool. And it has hella views. Okay. Projected income, 185 to 200 grand. I think it's going to do more than that because of all the amenities. And I'll show you why. Really cool, like high end, like we did tile showers and a bunch of them. This is all like, this is Ducks Back, real stone, high end. Like we get all of our siding from Sisson Log Homes in Blue Ridge, Georgia. This is a more modern, it's called Nickel Gap pine. And so just higher end finish. But anyways, this one, I've pulled this up as a 5-bedroom. Now this one's going to sleep like a 5. It's a 4-bedroom, but it'll sleep like a 5 because there's a loft above that's really dead space if you don't throw some bunk beds in there. So I think sleep 16. And so average daily rate, as most of you guys know, as ADR is $858 per night. Okay. That's assuming we're going to get 60% occupancy rate. Would get us at 186,900. Now, this is off of a software called AirDNA. For those of you guys that aren't familiar, it's a software that you can pay for it. You can get what's called a rentalizer tool. So anyways, I'm going to dive in there. So this is how I break it down. And this is a little bit older. Rates are a little bit higher right now, but this is just what I projected on this deal. I think they originally 1.6, 1.4. Let's say somebody offered in at 1.3 million. You're going to bring 25% to the table. Okay, that's 325,000. 3% closing costs, that's 39,000. Your total cash in the deal is going to be 364,000. Now, I'm a big believer you take 6 months of reserves as well. So go ahead and add 40 grand in addition to that. So you're going to be over a little 400 grand. So here you're going to take your mortgage amount times your interest rate. You're going to get your PITI, your principal interest. Okay. You're going to get your insurance annualized. That's what it is month. You're going to add your $500, 6 grand, 16 grand a year in utilities, water, gas, electric. So it's on a well. So you're not going to pay any water. And your electric is the one thing, if you're not managing your pool right, that could go high. I know people that have over $1,000 a month in electric bills that aren't taking care of that. Internet, cable, $120. You want to put a reserve in this is new construction, so not too much, 3% reserve for just maintenance to get a HVAC bill or something like that, but 3% over the course of the year. And then your management fee, if you're at 15%, your total expenses, guys, would be 118,000, and that would be 9,900 monthly of expenses, including your debt. Okay. So over here, let's just say that we go in the median, do 190,000, which I feel like this one would do more. That's my professional opinion. And I did it at a lower percent, but at a higher occupancy. But at 190 grand, that gets you 15,800 per month. So you subtract your 118 grand, you're going to get, let's just call it around $70,000 a year in net operating income, your NOI. And your cash flow, guys, your cash on cash return is going to be 20%. Okay. On a deal like this, if you acquired this deal by yourself. Okay. Pretty good cash on cash return. Now, we've looked at some options where we could allow people to come in on some equity positions where they could buy deals with us. This is just a scenario. This is not a real deal, but give you guys a scenario on what something could look like. So if there's a deal to be split, let's say that there's a 50% equity share in the deal. In that particular deal, if you took 71,000 of free cash flow at 50%, the investor is going to get 35,000 a year, 36,000. You have your down payment plus your reserves. Your reserves, guys, are just bank reserves where you could have that money sitting there aside. Okay. Closing costs, your total upfront cash would be 400 grand. Now I know a lot of you guys are like, holy fuck, man. How are you guys telling me 33 grand or 12 grand to get into a deal? This is if somebody wanted to put funds together to go buy a deal. This is the scenario here. You know, some people call it fractional ownership. Some people call it syndication. I'm just showing you guys what you could do potentially with other parties. There's other companies that do that. We're looking at doing some stuff like that as well. But let's just assume that it was purchased at 1.3 million. And the value of it finished once it's fully stable, meaning that it's rented out, is 1.6 million. 3% appreciation. This goes to where that compounding effect, guys. 3% appreciation on that 1.6 million over 5 years would be 1.85 million. Okay. So that would leave equity from the 1.8 million minus the purchase price of 550,000 in addition to what you brought in cash flow. So 50% of that's equity, that's 277,000. If you could go into a deal like this, that you'd be able to get as an investor or a portion of that. Cash flow, you'd get half that. So 36,000 at 5 years. That's 177,000 of cash flow over that 5 years. And guys, once again, that principal balance is going down. So if you're getting half the balance of that, half the equity, you're going to pay that deal down in 5 years, 62,000. And so I pulled these all, calculated those. And once again, guys, this is a scenario. This just gives you a breakdown of what people are doing out there to get into deals with less out-of-pocket cash. But the original capital on this would be 411,000. Okay. So on this deal, this particular deal right here, this scenario, right, there'd be a $486,000 return for the investors. You add that to their original money, their original 411,000 plus 486,000, guys, that's 897,000. Show me where you can go put your cash in a deal, and if in 4 or 5 years from now, double that. That's exactly how it is. That goes back to the compounding effect. That goes in. You guys get hitters like this on this call and say, man, I want to close on this deal together. You get your husband, get your networking group. You do these deals, you find a good deal, and you come in, and it's a philosophy of being better together, right? Because not everybody has 400 grand to invest. So I'm going to keep on going, guys. And then we've got about 10 minutes left until I'm going to do a Q&A. So let me show you guys this, right? So can everybody still see my screen? Give me a thumbs up or in the chat box. Sometimes going in and out. If you can just give me a quick thumbs up, you guys would be amazing. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Is everybody getting some good value out of this? If you guys can give me a thumbs up or a fist pump, it means so much to me. I don't want to talk to just talk, but if you guys are getting some good value out of this, please give me a thumbs up, or if I suck, give me a thumbs down, and then I'm gonna give you a kick. I'm gonna boot you out of the room. But thank you guys so much. Seriously, it means a lot. So I'm gonna talk to you guys about what an equity position would be. Okay. So if you were to, right now, I had a buddy of mine just invest in cash with me, and he was getting like 3.9% from a CD. And he was like, dude, he's like, they wanted me to lock it in there for a year, blah, 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 blah. And that's at 4%, guys. Your money's losing 7% right now in the bank. Your money, let me repeat that. Your money is losing 7% in the bank right now. That is a fact. You got $1 million in the account, and you've got 930 next year. Okay. That's just a fact. That's called inflation. That's why you can hedge your bet with inflation here. But let's just say you stuck your money somewhere where you can get 8%. Okay. 8% at 400,000 at 8% in 5 years, you would gain, your total deal would be 600. That 411 would turn into $603,893.84. Okay. In this vehicle that I just showed you, now you may not have 400. Maybe you got 40, right? Maybe you got 40, right? In this deal, that was a 16 on that scenario. That was a 16.9% appreciation and return on your cash on cash by a secured asset in one of the hottest real estate markets in America, that's getting cleaned once every 3 or 4 days, that somebody's looking at it, checking in on it all the time, guys. And on that, in that scenario, one would be getting 16.9% backed by a real estate asset in a market that I don't think 14 million visitors, guys. Where are you going to house them all? Right. That's why in October, November, December, July, that it's $1,000 a night. Some of these deals are going for $4,000 a night. Okay. So 16%, 16.9% returns on this scenario. Okay. Let me go to the next scenario. This just goes show where I pulled my data from. So this property is right around the corner from that property right there. This property is smaller. It's a 4-bedroom. Okay. It's got a game room. It's got an additional living room, but it's got no pool. Okay. It's got no theater room, and the game room's really small. And it's older. Now it's got a beautiful layout. I love the decks here. No one could bitch and complain on this. But guys, this property, the owner used it. So I talked to the property management company before I talked to you guys. They said it was doing about $175,000 a year, but the owner uses it 8 weeks out of the year. Okay. So they come in, I don't remember where they live, I think Jersey, but they come in and they use it a lot. Okay. This property sold last year for $2.4 million, guys. And I'm saying that other property would be worth 1.6. I would rather be conservative and undershoot than overshoot. So I'm going to show you guys another deal. So this is a deal that I'm under contract with right now. Now I'm just showing you guys this as an example. You want to have private conversations, great, we can do that. But I'm just showing you guys a couple of deals. And this, you don't have to do any deals with me, right? You don't have to use me as your agent. I just want to show you guys the way to structure and how you can get into a deal by 2023. Okay. This was a listing appointment. I went to the property. They wanted to list at 1.2 million. It was a 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath, and it wasn't even 1,800 square feet. It was like 1,400, 1,300 square feet. And so I said, guys, I just don't think I can get you to that number. And they're like, we really just want to get $1 million for it. And I was like, all right. So I went and actually looked at the property, did some research on it. The location's great. So right behind it is Mount LeConte. You have over Gatlinburg. You can see downtown Gatlinburg. You can see the split from where you're coming from Pigeon Forge. Phenomenal location. The cool thing about this property is it used to be this is a burnout. It used to have a 5-bedroom there. So I know that we can get a bigger septic. And there's 2 unfinished levels. So I'm going to add 2 more bedrooms. I'm going to add a game room. I'm going to add 2.5 more baths. And I'm going to add an indoor pool. The project is going to be anywhere from 250 to 350,000. I'm under contract with this deal for $1 million. So I'll be able to get in this deal for $1.35 million. Okay. This just goes to show you guys, if you're partnered with a freaking hustler, they can find you good deals. Okay. But this is the property on the inside, and the owners, it was an estate. They didn't want to fool with it. They just want to get a good money. They only have probably 600 grand in the deal. So they're making good money too, guys. I'm willing to pay more because of the opportunity. All right. So I want to show you guys on this scenario. I think it'll do 220,000 pretty conservatively. So same scenario, I did 1.3, I did 1.35. So similar, you're going to have 123,000 of total expenses. If you guys want this, I can screenshot this over to you, send it over to you so you guys can see this. Y'all can create your own little calculator. Down payment, closing costs, and setup costs. When I say setup costs, reserves, guys. So you're going to have 123,000 of expenses. This property, if it does 220 grand and you have 123,000, that's going to leave $96,000 worth of NOI. So net operating income. So that's a 24% cash on cash return, guys. That's stupid. Right now on this deal, this is one I actually am keeping. I wouldn't just sell this deal. If I did sell it, I'd sell it for $2 million. And I'm going to show you why. But I'm showing you guys equity positions because there's people like me that are going out and providing opportunities. Just that, let's just hypothetically say I raised 400 grand on this deal. And I was like, hey, this deal is worth so much money. I'm only going to sell 40% of the value. And I did this. So if I sold 40% of this deal, right, which for an investor, they want to see how fast they can get cash out. 40%, there's a 400 grand that's going to be in the deal. So at 40% of 96,000, that's 38,000 cash flow paid to an investor if we did that deal. So that'd be a 9.38% cash on cash return. Okay. Now there's 24,000, but if I let people come in, I'm going to give them a 9.38% freaking banging right now, considering everything going on the market. Who in here, give me a thumbs down if you lost a bunch of money in the stock market this year. Go ahead. Let me stop share this real quick. Give me a thumbs down if you lost a bunch of cash in the stock market. Put in here. Yeah, stocks suck. It's fake. Did you guys know that your 401k, they classify real estate as a non-traditional asset? Isn't that crazy? I'm not a financial advisor, guys. And if I have any in the room, sorry, but I think that's a Ponzi scheme sounding to me. But anyways, I've lost $250,000 in the last year in the stock market. And guess what? I ain't doing that shit again. Now, if you guys love the stock market and you are good at it, great. More power to you. Once again, I'm not giving you guys any financial advice. I've got a disclaimer at the end of this. Can everybody nod their head that, hey, y'all aren't going to try to sue me for showing you guys some stuff on how to buy some real estate. Appreciate that. So let me dive back in, guys, because we're getting close to our time here. But this is a pretty cool scenario. This is just a scenario. So on this deal, hey, I'm going to tell you part of this freaking awesome deal. So the current value on that deal, once we make it a 4-bedroom, will easily, conservatively be worth 1.8 million. So at 1.8 million appreciated over 5 years at 3% appreciation, which is very conservative. You guys know that our market went up 27% year over year over the past few years. That property be worth let's call it 2.1 million. So there would be $786,000 worth of equity, and 40% of that would be $314,000 going to an investor or investors. Cash flow, 40% of the free cash flow at 5 times 5 years would be $191,000 of distributions going out to partners. And then principal, if you paid off $62,000 in 5 years, 40% of that being distributed out to investors, $24,000. A total combined, guys, this is fucking bananas. Total combined, $531,000 plus your 409. So guys, can y'all see my screen? 5 years. And guys, I think I could do that in 3 years on this deal because there's so much meat on that bone. And I'm trying to take it down by myself, but I show these examples because these are real examples that I'm doing performance on. But guys, 400 grand at partial ownership, right? Let's just say hypothetical, you were to go put some cash in a syndication that had performance like this. You put 100 grand in that deal, right? You're going to get 1/4 of that number. So $225,000, something like 220 grand in that deal. Let me show you what the return on that is. So it's finding these deals. There are syndications and multifamily syndications all over the place. So at an 8% return on this deal, guys, you'd turn 400 grand into 600 grand. Okay. The cash flow return on this deal, guys, would be 940 grand. I think was all in all. That's an 18.1% return, hypothetically, on a deal like that. Okay. 18.1%, guys. That's 5 years. You're doubling your money easily. Okay. In a scenario like this, if you were in a deal like this. Okay. Those deals are out there, guys. These are just deals that I've literally stumbled across in the last 60 days. Right. I want to show you guys, like I projected that deal at 1.8 million. Let me show you the active inventory in there. So this property is smaller than what that one would be. And it's listed 2.1 million. This one's ugly. And it's listed at, it's 4,800 square foot, 2 million. This one closed last year, guys, 4,400 square foot, 2.4 million. Here's another one closed for 2.15 million. That's a 3-bedroom, guys, 3,000 square feet. Okay. My client almost bought that. Oh, my client almost bought this one too. This one, 3,800 square feet, right? Closed, $2 million. And I'm only valuing this deal at 1.8 million. Okay. Here's another one. This one was listed at 2 million, sold for 1.8. Now they're reselling that for 2.1. I hope they get it. And here's another one. This is a 3-bedroom, guys, that's under contract, significantly smaller, 3-bedroom, 1.75 million. I think that property is really worth a lot more than that. So anyways, I understand everybody doesn't have 400 grand to invest. I'm not even going to go into that. Disclaimer, there's no such thing as a risk-free investment, guys. Talk to your freaking experts, guys. Talk to your attorneys, talk to your CPAs, talk to people, professionals out there. Do your freaking due diligence, do homework on it, right? But this is what I will tell everybody. You do not have to be an expert in everything. Be an expert in what you're good at, and then invest with other people that know more than you in other things. Okay. So if anybody wants to set up a private call with me, go ahead, take a screenshot of this real quick, guys. You can visit calljcombs.com. You can schedule that now. I'm going to anticipate I'm probably going to get 37 message requests. So I may have to move those. I literally have an open calendar right now. And so I'm going to anticipate I'll probably have to move some of you guys, but follow me on Facebook, guys. I am literally putting out free content every single day on how to raise cash, how to go out and save cash, how to go out and be disciplined on that. Right. And so anyways, you can visit that, calljcombs.com. You can go and do 15-minute guys increments, because we can always set something up farther. If you guys want to use me as your real estate agent, great. I'll help you find a deal. If you guys want to look at me finding you syndications, I'm in a networking group that has monster syndications, but follow me on Facebook. If you guys aren't following me, I'll show you real quick here on the old Facebook what my big dome looks like on here. So this is my oh shoot. This is my Facebook, guys. For those of you guys not following me, follow me. My hat says call the fucking leads, or it says call the damn leads. Call the damn leads. If you can call the leads, you're gonna make money that you can invest in deals. Okay. So anyways, guys, I'm gonna allocate 10 minutes to some good questions. Guys, give me a thumbs up if you guys got some good value out of that today. Did I help or answer any questions? And then I'm going to go into some, but if you guys could give me a thumbs up, it'd mean the world to me. I want to help the blue collar, the hardworking people invest in deals so you guys can have financial freedom as well. And then if you're loaded and you're white collar and you're full of cash, just bring it to me. I'll help you put it to work as well. So I don't discriminate. So anyways, Jay, for a first-time property investor, what are your thoughts on using DSCR loans for financing versus a traditional loan? So guys, for anyone that doesn't know what DSCR stands for, that's debt service coverage ratio loan. So essentially, they're going to go out and use the income that's coming on the property for you to qualify. If the deal makes sense, dude, do the DSCR. Like right now, no matter what, your interest rate's going to suck. Okay. But all that's doing is driving prices down. So like Vicky, if Vicky's still on there, we save Vicky like $175,000, $180,000, guys. Deal at $855,000 we got for 660 something thousand, guys. She's getting a monster deal, and she's going to go and improve that deal to where there's even more equity. I would not be surprised if she couldn't make, I don't know, $250,000 on that deal in just a couple of years by the value that she got in it and when she'll be able to do it. Do your homework, man. Do your homework. Ask a lender. We've got a couple lenders in here. I'm sure they'll be happy to discuss that with you, but I've never done a DSCR loan. I've had clients do them. Easier to do it. So definitely need to chat soon. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Comment below, or you guys can shout out loud any questions. So I'm going to go through here. Someone said great software, location. All right. So Ben asked, what was it that pushed you past your fear initially when you first got started? I had a little guap in my pocket, guys. Who in here saved a little guap in their pocket and it's like they feel it burning a hole? Anybody got a little guap? Not a lot of guap, but a little guap in their pocket. Raise your hand. Don't be shy. Little guap, little guap. Man, I had 35 grand after paying taxes. And I said, I don't need that 35 grand. I said, how can I turn that money into more money? Okay. And so I was terrified. So I went and found 2 other people that had more money than me. And I said, dude, I got this banger. And I convinced them to invest in the deal. Now it's a little bit different. Someone asked me, what made me stick to the first Sevier County deal? I don't know. That's a good question. My wife asked me that. So she probably doesn't even know. My wife doesn't know. I don't know. Man, I think that I was just like looking at other deals and I was like, fuck, I think this is going to be a good deal. That's a great question. I do not know. So anyways, let's keep it rolling, guys. Do you believe in owner financing deals? Hell yeah. Y'all find me some owner financing deals and I will help you guys close those bitches. All right. It's called OPM. Who in here? $5 for the first person that tells me what OPM stands for. $5, guys. What's OPM stand for? You gotta say it out loud, man. I gotta be able to hear you.
Other people's money.
Who said that?
Brian.
Brian, $5. Somebody's already won $9. Brian's earning $5. You guys are getting rich. This is how you start. This is how you start investing in the Smokies. Yeah. All right. So how hard is it to find contractors in Gatlinburg? Any logistical issues with materials? Great question. So I've never built in Gatlinburg. I am doing that property. It'd probably be a 4-month deal. If somebody's willing to drive to Sevierville, they're willing to drive to Gatlinburg. But I will tell you this, I haven't done it. because if you guys know how freaking hard it is to get from Pigeon Forge to Gatlinburg during peak season, it's tough. But I think it'll be the same thing. What is a typical cap rate that you can buy at? So cap rate is so just so you guys know, it's the OI divided by the purchase price. So right now your cap rates are going to suck because your interest rates suck, right? Does everybody agree interest rates suck? But I take every bit of debt, and when I consider cap rate. And so there's a lot of real estate agents that don't do that. That's why you got to find a really good real estate agent. Most of real estate agents are fucking stupid. Just, it is what it is. And if I offended you guys, don't be the stupid ones. But most agents are unqualified and uneducated. Like on that one deal, guys, I had 97,000 of NOI divided by, I was going to be at 1.35 million. So my cap rate on that deal is only 7.2%. But my damn cash on cash return was 24%. So that's where you got to identify what's more important. Most agents I've heard literally rate of return, then they'll take the income divided by the sales price. Like if I went out and now I want to show you guys, this is real numbers. Okay. I want to show you what a typical real estate agent will do. A typical real estate agent says $220,000 of income divided by 1.35%. And they're like, holy shit, dude, you got a 16.3% cap rate. You should buy in the Smoky Mountains because it's the shit. It's got returns like God himself came in town, right? And I'm not trying to hate on real estate agents. I love my real estate agents, especially if you're a good one, but there's a lot of uneducated agents. Other people's money. Yeah, y'all figured that out. Other people's money. I love it. What other questions we got, guys? So I'm here for another 5-10 minutes. Write down any questions you guys have on it. So all debt minus the debt payment. Best way to get my first cabin. So I bought my first cabin, guys, with $33,000 out of my pocket. Okay. I bought my second Airbnb for 5% down on 130. That's not a lot. $7,000. Put 12 grand in it. I had 20 grand. And I did both those within in a short period of time. So if you guys, like the biggest part, you don't have 400 grand. There's most people in here don't have 400 grand just sitting aside. And so find other people to go in on these deals or find smaller deals, right? So like that little 1-bedroom cabin, somebody could get in on that deal for bringing 85 grand to the table. Okay. For the down payment. And that's a good cash on cash return. Or you go in and you buy into a fund or something of that nature, because no matter what, guys, like the principle that I'm trying to get to you is get your fucking money out of the bank. It's a problem. Y'all ever heard of Mattress Financial? Underneath the mattress. Don't do that either, because somebody could steal all your cash. But guys, I'm not over here. I'm not a bank basher because I love my banks. I do a lot of business with my banks. But the reality is you're losing money, guys, and you will be financially in the same spot 5 years from now. Just imagine, guys, if you could take 100 grand and in 4 to 5 years, turn it to 200 grand. Not much change in 5 years. So then you take that 200 to 400. Now you got 400 grand, probably more cash you've ever had in your life, and you didn't do shit to earn it. But if you're smart, you're putting more cash in the deal. Let's say you got 400 grand, you're going to invest another 100 grand in it. Now you got 500. If you double your money at year 14, 15, maybe 12, 13, and you've doubled your money that fast, you turn that 100 grand into 1.5 million or $1 million, right? And so that's the power of the compounding effect. And guys, the reason that I've done it, I was like living on a fucking couch when I was in my early 20s. I didn't share any of my story. I was a fuck up, 3-time college dropout, graduated top 10% top 10 in my class, but there's only 20 of us in the class, right? I struggled with alcoholism. And when I was a young, idiot, I wanted to be like Dan Bilzerian, wanted to be the biggest womanizer, and I didn't focus on the good shit. Like I was a fucking idiot. And I finally, God blessed me with good people. And he was like, hey, go out and try this real estate thing. And I learned, and I didn't do a deal for years, guys, 1,000 days. I didn't do a deal, but I hoarded cash. I held cash like it was like my life depended on it. And then when I had the opportunity to, then I started investing. And now, guys, like my wife will tell you, there ain't shit that ain't for sale. I just built a $2 million house for myself. And if one of you guys want to give me $3.5 million, I'm out. I won't even move in the damn thing. That's a fact. You know what I mean? And because I realized, don't get emotional about it. Cash, man, like People say that money is the root of all evil. No, being obsessed with it is the root of all evil. So anyways, is Pigeon Forge equally as good as Gatlinburg? I think Pigeon Forge is better. Okay. Now Gatlinburg is the holy grail. It's statistically the best. I think Pigeon Forge better because you can get to more stuff to it. It's a matter of opinion. Exactly. Are you still financing builds, or does the buyer need to bring a construction loan? Yes, we'll still finance them as long as our good friends, the banking partners, will do it. Now I am working, guys, low key. I would love every one of you guys to be able to come in on one of my builds and us all buy it together and win together. And I am working on some really cool things in the pipeline to be able to let people get the best property at way below market value on what anyone else could get it for. Come in, be a partner in the deal, work with us as well. So if I can build my own 2-bedroom cabin, 2-bedroom, 2-bath cabin for $225, should I sell it for $500 or keep it and rent it as an STR? Good question, dude. It's a good question. I would do this. I would do a cash out refi on that deal, because the day that you sell that is the day that you no longer own the asset. I'd go out and pull 75% out of that deal. Who is that? Who's Zoom user? Who's Zoom user? Got the beard right there. What's your name? What's your name, boss? Zoom user, got a big beard. Y'all see him. Don't be shy, bro. Jordan. Okay, cool. I can't see. Yeah. So Jordan's over there nodding his head on a cash out refi. So let's just say you got 225 in it at 500 grand times 0.75. The bank will give you 375 grand. So now you go out and you take 325 grand minus the 225 you have in the damn thing. You go take that 150 and you go and buy another deal. And now you got 2 deals, and that one's still cash flowing. And then now you've got 2 deals, or you invest it in another deal, or you go and fucking build another one. You know what I mean? I'm a big believer. I sell my shit and I get emotional about it. My wife will tell you everything's for sale, but doesn't mean I don't get upset when I sell it, because now I don't control the asset. Use your property like a bank. That's right. What's your average management fee on the homes? Great question, Alex. What I'm seeing in our market is going to be anywhere from 15 to 25%. Right now, it got to a point on where I took my properties over. And so I'm self-managing just because I am paying some high interest rates, guys. I've got some interest rates, 8%. Sucks. Right? If you're a DSCR, you may even be higher than that. And so for me right now, I was like, hey, let's do a little bit more work. Let's self-manage these. But like Vernon's on here. Vernon, I would say, is going to be anywhere. You can find Vernon after this. He'll tell you. He's going to be in somewhere in that sweet spot there. And it is a bang up job. Hell of a communicator. Right? And you want someone like Vernon. This isn't a plug for Vernon, but he's my dude. So I'm going to give him a plug. But he treats your property like it's his property, which I do appreciate. Yeah, 15 to 25% is what Vernon said. What other questions, guys? I've got time for 2 more questions, guys. So give me your last 2 questions that you have. Let's see. Miss that part. Other people's money. Last questions. Do you manage your short term? Do you manage your STR or recommend it? That's what I just said. I do manage my own right now. Once I get to the next level, look, I'm here. I'm out there every single day. So if you're not here, don't fucking manage your own properties unless that you're going to treat it like a business. I've got one of my owners on this call. She treats it like a business. Okay. And that's why she's crushing it. If you want to be an absentee owner and you just collect a freaking check, don't manage it. You know what I mean? In that pro forma, guys, I already factored in 18%, 15% for management, 3% for just like general maintenance stuff. If you're in a deal together with someone else, how does that work with tax advantages? So if you're an owner in the deal, you should be eligible for all the tax advantages. I am in the discovery mode of that, guys. So that's what I'm thinking. So I don't want to say anything that's not 100%. I'm never going to claim to be an expert in something I'm not. Great question. I will find out more on that. LLC ownership as created as pass through. So we have what's called general partners and loan partners. It goes through on personal taxes. Yeah. So I'm guessing, Alex, you've got a partnership on the deal. You know how I had it set up. I was an equal partner. Now, if you're an equal partner, yes, you get all the benefits. Now, some stuff like what I was showing you with like syndications, you have what's called a general partner. That's the person who's making the decisions, right? Like for those of you guys that's in out of state and all that, not out there, you don't need to be making the decisions. You need to trust the professionals, right? And if you want to make the decisions, go buy your own. But what's called a K1 is going to show your income. You deduct it off your K1, stuff like that. I've got really freaking smart people that are way smarter than me that can help you guys out with stuff like that.